Greetings, Sheriff and Seekers. It has been a while. It is not even permissible to say it's been a minute because at least 2 or 3 minutes have already gone by since we sat down together. But we're starting a new review of Epic Proportions. You're gonna like it. So stay with us. Our review starts off with dun 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 dun, dun Virgin Voyages. Now, unlike our previous reviews where we tell you what we like and how we experience the product, we are going to spend a little time reviewing those who have sailed Virgin and shared their thoughts. And so, by comparison, we will look on several sailors' experiences, what they thought, and come to our own conclusion. This is not about who is wrong or right. This is just how many people experience the same product and what causes them to come back to it or choose not to. Now, as you know, Virgin is the adult way to cruise. No children allowed on board, not until they're 18. And so the fun starts with being able to just exhale, to just have an adulting experience. No need to watch your language. No need to watch the way you, I was gonna say sprawl out, but hey, just be you as you choose to be. So I have selected one of my favorite YouTubers, and who knows, maybe you know him too. Let's hear what he has to say as he boarded the Scarlet Lady.
As our ship comes into view, the excitement kicks in. This is Millie and I's first cruise, and on one of the world's newest to boot.
Well, hello there and welcome to the beautiful Miami. Will you join me at the cruise terminal? Of course, we're going to be going not on this one, but on the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady.
Our taxi has dropped us outside Virgin's dedicated Terminal V, where our large suitcases are collected. These will be delivered to our cabin a little later. We're also informed there's a special boarding area for suites passengers, or what Virgin calls Rockstars, located further along the terminal in Palm Way. It's similar to an airline check-in, with a variety of document checks mandated.
Now, I've been watching this YouTuber for quite a while, Trek Trendy, and there's so many things to like about him, at least for me. One of the things I like is his commentary and his swag, his very British demeanor. And so I also like the fact that he starts as he approaches the start of his trip. In this particular case, he starts as he approaches the terminal. And so you get that full description.
Also issued with our wearables, which doubles as our room key and onboard credit card. We're swiftly led through security and over to our private lounge whilst we wait to board.
For me, I was very happy that he was boarding a Rockstar stateroom because most of the videos that we have seen, they are in either a sea terrace or an insider. And so heading over to the dedicated boarding area was a very, very important adage, and persons will appreciate that star quality starts at the terminal. And did you see that terminal? Purpose built just for the Virgin's ladyships. You're gonna love it.
In contrast, if you're a non-suite guest, you'll have a longer wait time, although this should be only about 10 to 15 minutes, I'm told. Next, we'll head over to the gangway. It's time to get on the Scarlet Lady.
I really appreciate the fact that he gives detail as to size and the comparisons to landmarks so that we're able to get a very, very good picture as to how vast the Scarlet Lady really, really is.
I find it hard to comprehend the size of these mammoth ships, which are like small floating cities. In fact, to give it some perspective, our ship is 917 feet in length, making her 2/3 the size of the Empire State Building. Crikey. We're welcomed on board by 2 crew members and a megaphone? Yeah, quite different to Cunard. We're initially met with a huge modern open space, kind of like a mix between a hotel lobby and a cocktail bar. From this foyer on deck 7, we'll need to make our way up to our new living quarters on deck 15. To do this, let's hop in one of the many elevators dotted around the centre of the ship. So far, I'm impressed with how quiet it's felt, which I guess is testament to the staggered boarding procedure, but given the ship has space for nearly 3,000 passengers, it's still quite the feat.
One constant that you will see, and he spoke about it just as he boarded the ship, was being greeted by 2, well, he said crew members, and we'll tell you the Virgin terms very, very soon. And the difference was, instead of the typical welcome aboard, welcome home, you had megaphones. You had them dressed in their sailor outfits. You had that little tease going on just to show you that this is a sailing like none other. Now, for the Scarlet Lady, he had the fortune of enjoying a mega Rockstar suite. And like he said, there are only 2 of them on that particular um, deck, and it's forward. There are terms that you're going to hear. Some terms will be new to you, and those are because they are exclusive to Virgin, and then other terms are simply cruise terms. So forward, that's the front of the ship. And of course, being a mega rock star indicates that you are in a high-end suite. Could be an owner's suite on a traditional sailing. But for those of you who know Sir Richard did not believe that cruising should be done just like every other cruise line. It should be done the Virgin way.
Finally, we've made it to the forward section of the ship, and we're met by our butler, David, who promptly shows us over to our suite. There are actually only 2 of these massive suites on board, and ours is on the starboard side. Time to see what a mega Rockstar suite is really like.
Well, welcome on board, and of course, welcome back to the channel, Millie.
I'm back.
She is back indeed for the first cruise of 2023, and what one to choose, the brand new Virgin Voyages.
As we have a couple of hours before departure, let's take a proper look around our retro-futurism 2,000 square foot suite designed by Tom Dixon. It's unlike anything I've come across on land, let alone at sea. We're currently in the living room, featuring huge wraparound sofas, telescope and chandelier. Everything is controlled via tablets dotted around the cabin, but if you prefer analog, well, there's a record player for that. An all-important, all-inclusive minibar is provided, though we can customise this with anything we want. More on this later. And in terms of cold drinks, yes, I've already requested this to be filled with DC, don't you worry.
Now, there are those of us brand new to Virgin, and they will wonder, Sir Richard, who is she talking about? Ah, thank you for catching me up. Sir Richard Bronson. He is the Virgin man, all things Virgin. Of course, you know Virgin Atlantic, and a few of you might have heard of Virgin Galactic. That space travel, just in case you were not up to speed. Now, Sir Richard Bronson, years ago, said, I don't think I will ever take a cruise. I don't like the way cruising is done. I kind of suspect he did a cruise or 2 or 3 to see all the things he didn't like and all the things he would have liked. And he made Virgin special. Now, Mega Rockstar, you will ask, why? Because you see, it's all themed around music. And so, as I will allow the description, as I cannot really give it as detailed as it is going to be done right now, for you to see how musically themed And it's not just pictures on the wall, it is a turntable, it's guitars, it's wraparound sofas just for dining, lounging, entertaining, hanging out. The type of place that you would see rock stars. Take a listen.
Everything is all but a phone call away. You have a direct line to your butler 24/7. Adjacent to the living room is a half bathroom, which is useful if you have guests over for a pizza party. Virgin's words, not mine. Now for the music room, which plays host to a selection of guitars. Shame I can't play, but I'll have to give it a go. There's also a PlayStation 4 at hand, along with a large flat screen TV. Onwards to the bedroom, fitted with a European king-sized bed, adorned in rich Egyptian cotton, which yes, is as comfy as it looks. There's also a one-way mirror into the shower, which is different. Now for the master bathroom, decked out with floor-to-ceiling Italian marble, and my favourite part, the freestanding tub. We'll be trying that one out later. Lastly, and most impressively, is the outside, at almost double the inside space.
Now, there is absolutely no reason for you not to be blown away by what we know as the mustard drill. But here on Virgin, safety rocks. And if you really want someone to remember something, and all the studies have concluded, and this is correct, put it in a song. And so just take a quick listen to the mustard drill, safety rocks, in song.
We ask that you watch our Safety Rocks video on your in-cabin television.
Ahoy, everybody! When you're on the sea, you better take it from me. You gotta know the safety rules. When you hear...
Now, as I'd mentioned before, I spent hours watching this YouTuber. I really enjoy his content. And I actually watched the first video for another brand, and this is just a comparison, just because. And that was the Ritz-Carlton yacht collection, the first ship. So he was on board, had a luxury concierge service, had a butler, if you will, and it took him quite a while to even discover who that butler would be. In contrast, in contrast to the fact that up on boarding, David, his butler, right here on the Scarlet Lady, found him and made his acquaintance. You see, luxury is not always what it's cut out to be. And so as we journey along, I want you to check the boxes. And comparison is no evil, because as your dedicated travel providers, we want to ensure that we match you with the product that is going to not only wow you, but satisfy you and meet all your discerning needs. Now, I'm sure you would have heard him refer to himself as a sailor. And if you missed it, we need to stop you right there. So, unlike other vessels, unlike other cruise lines, as a Virgin client, you automatically become a sailor. And so you'll hear terms like sailor services. That would be guest services on another vessel, on another line, but not Virgin. Because you're a sailor, you go to sailor services. It doesn't hurt either that there is no dress code on board. No dress code, you heard it. So, no need to bring those high heels, ladies. Of course, unless you want to. No need to have that cocktail dress. And, gentlemen, absolutely no need for slacks or a jacket. You will continue to hear from all sailors as we do all these reviews that there are up to 20 or over 20 sometimes, 20 eating options, otherwise called eateries, on the lady ships. And yes, I did say it. All the Virgin vessels are called lady ships. You got to put a little charm on it. So that's what we are. We are lady ships when we speak of the Virgin vessels. And with all those dining options, you literally can go to sea. See what I did there?
Well, good morning. I slept incredibly well and honestly couldn't even tell I'm on a ship. But let's remind ourselves where we are and also, as promised, take a look at our huge outdoor terrace. Aside from the inviting looking jacuzzi, there's a lot more out here, from sun loungers to, wait for it, a catwalk table. Yep, that includes stairs to, well, walk on top of the table. Now that's Rockstar. Oh goodness, I see myself out. There's space to host a good 20 people out here, or, well, for the two of us, it's like having our own mini beach club. Lastly, and perhaps my favourite feature, is the overhang sun deck, which allows you to look back at the ship. It's actually the only way you can do this on board without being on the bridge, so it's kind of a unique feature of the suite.
And of course, with 20 plus eateries on board, you'd imagine that without some form of order, you might have some having too many guests and some not having enough. So there is a reservation process, and ta-da, that's where the app comes in, because with the Virgin app, you can book reservations on this wonderful app, and so have a detailed look telling you where and when you can dine. Not can dine, where and when you have chosen to dine, because it's all your way. And while we're talking about food, let us quickly talk about sailor loot. Yep, back in the days of pirates, you would stash your loot. And so we stash your loot on your onboard account. And so this is the spend money that you have. Whether you have gotten sailor loot because your agent, myself, is amazing, and we have clever ways to ensure that you get some sailor loot for your sailing, or you simply added some from your credit or debit card that's available for spending on board. But you might ask, it's an all-inclusive product. Why do I need money? Seriously, we always need money. It's just how it is. But what do you need money for on board? Even though everything is included, you have upgrades. There's good and then there's better. And so in the eateries, there's always going to be something on the menu that kicks it up several notches, that comes at a premium. And so you can go ahead and apply your sailor loot to those meals or those drinks, those cocktails that are so amazing that they really could not just sit there lifeless on the menu. There had to be an upcharge. And so, like every other sailing, you want to use your sailor loot, and you want to ensure that it all gets spent up, because especially those that Virgin will splurge onto your tab, they expire at the end of your sailing.
For a switch up from champagne, let's try a frozen alcoholic slushy. It's just like being back in Vegas. Aside from drinks, there are light snacks provided throughout the day. Time to challenge Millie to the spicy popcorn basket. All in all, it's a lovely place to hang out, though again I did find the service to be pretty slow here. Richard's rooftop aside, this is the main sun deck and pool. Much busier, but definitely a vibe. Now we've really got to check out one of my favourite areas of any ship. The stern. Now what do we have here? This, my friends, is the highest catamaran net at sea, 17 stories up. My question to you, Would you try this?
Now, we briefly mentioned restaurants, but in this particular review, we're not going to spend too much time talking about restaurants because you will see the other 2 or 3 videos that we will be doing reviews on. They tend to spend a lot more time talking about restaurants. So we will sit there for a moment. For this particular review, and because it's a Rockstar cabin, we wanted you to start at the top. We wanted you to lose yourself in opulence. We wanted you to understand that even though Virgin falls in the contemporary, is somewhere that sweet spot between mass market and premium, there is a wonderful element of luxury, and you have splurgeability all the way across the ladyships.
Fitness is your thing, or you want to counteract all this incredible food on board, there's an array of options for you. There's a fully equipped gym, along with several classes, which unfortunately were fully booked. But my favourite is outside, and no, it's not the basketball court, though that's really cool, but it's the running track on deck 17. Meanwhile, back at our suite, it's turned into quite a lazy afternoon. But we can go one step further. An afternoon drink in the hot tub? I think so. I mean, this bottomless moet won't drink itself.
Where did that go?
Went up over there.
Next, let's make Millie a Hendrix and tonic. There's something almost therapeutic sitting in the hot tub watching the late afternoon sun dip ever lower on the horizon.
It's exciting to see that being a mega rock star has a lot of benefits, from the layout of your stateroom, which has its own sitting area, to your patio. Gosh, that's not even a patio. It is vast. It's immense. And did you see? There are actually 2 hammocks, not one, as we see normally in the seaside terrace. Ah, hot tub. Enough room to seat 20 people outside. It's a place to have a party. Absolutely amazing. But wait, there's more. Now, on deck 16, there is Sir Richard's rooftop. You heard correctly, and it is exclusive access for the mega rock stars and the rock stars. So you can just imagine another nook where all my Lux fans can just be.
Well, it's bright and early, and a very good morning to you. It's 7 AM and we're about to arrive into the Bahamas. We've got lots of exploring to do later, but first it's brekkie time. Another perk of being in a mega Rockstar suite is the inclusive room service breakfast, which can be enjoyed out on our balcony. Just make sure you order before midnight the night before.
Now, did you hear him say he had a bottomless bar tab? What is that? If you think about it, if it's bottomless, it goes on and on and on. There's a song that says that. I wish I could insert it, but I don't remember. Actually, I do, but then how do I get to in my memory to pull it out? Yeah, enough of that. with a bottomless bar tab as a mega rock star. Then you drink to your heart's content. And on the Sir Richard's rooftop, along with hot tubs, ample amounts of loungers, there's a bar. Good place to use up that endless, bottomless bar tab.
We'll head down to deck 4 as we need to pass through the ship's security and tap out with our wearables. Welcome to the Bahamas. It seems strange to arrive into another country with no passport checks, but hey, I'm not complaining. We'll take the little road train over to the Virgin Voyages Beach Club for an afternoon of relaxation.
Now, at the start of the video, we spoke about the Mega Rock Star cabins being forward or at the front of the ship. But you cannot leave out this particular feature. And this is at the aft of the ship or the back of the ship. And this is the largest. Did I say highest? Well, no, I said largest, but it could be the largest and the highest catamaran net at sea. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, just take a look. And on this net, you can just lie around. Usually that's what they do on a catamaran net. And bear in mind that it's overlooking the sea. So if you're afraid of heights and you're looking down at the water rolling by, remember you're at the aft, you're at the back. So there's going to be some motor activity and you'll see the curling of the waves. It might not be for you, but hey, it is worth an experience, isn't it? Even though we had plans to speak about the eateries in detail in another video, I couldn't help but speak about the pizza place. This is a spot that at least Desiree I know will be visiting a lot. These pizzas made to order, hot, steaming, juicy, succulent, just the way you want it. Ah, something to think about as we prepare to sail Virgin. And of course, with all the meals, steals, and deals, and wow moments, and oh, ways to spoil yourself silly, it's still so important to get some movement in. So, the running track on deck 17 is a highly used, highly anticipated spot in the mornings. But don't forget, there's spin classes, yoga classes, and a fully functional gym. So, you gotta move. And with Virgin, they feed you well and they also give you opportunities to get those steps in, to keep the blood circulating, and to get you ready for the next meal. And for this episode, we are going to conclude with the images of the Manor nightclub. It is claimed to be the most Instagrammable location on the ship. It is sheer fantasy, I can tell you that. But there's so much more to share. So stick around with us because we are taking you on a journey that is second to none right here with Virgin Voyages. To make your booking to sail the Virgin Way, Share Fantastic Travels and Resorts Limited, a gold tiered Virgin agency. We're ready to do this for you and to sail you on one of the most amazing 6, 5, or 4 night itineraries, not only in the Caribbean, but also the Mediterranean. Look out for Valiant Lady sailing this fall for the first time in the Caribbean. Scarlet Lady continues to shine, and Brilliant Lady is on the horizon. So, the lady ships are making a dash for it, and you need to ensure that when they sail away, you're there on board. This is Sheri wishing you merry sailings the Virgin Way.